That's why no one wins 4 Premier League titles in a row by accident. That's why this league breaks teams, breaks managers, breaks momentum. It always has. It always will. And that's why Pep Guardiola keeps saying the same thing. Together, positive, calm, because he knows exactly where this road usually leads. Pep Guardiola is doing something at Manchester City this season that almost nobody's talking about. And that silence might be the most dangerous thing in English football right now. While debates rage about who looks sharper, who plays better football, and who's more exciting on the eye, Pep has been working quietly, methodically, patiently. City feel different this year. Not slower, not weaker, just calmer. They've rotated lineups, switched systems, reshaped roles, and yet everything looks easy. Pep looks refreshed. The players look mentally light. And beneath that calm is something far more threatening than chaos: balance. This isn't the flashiest version of Manchester City. It's not the version chasing records or viral scorelines. It's the version that wins leagues when nobody's paying attention. And if you've watched Guardiola long enough, you know exactly what this phase means. Pep's great teams always arrive in 2 acts. First, the noise, the fireworks, the domination everyone can see. Then comes the quiet phase, the calculating phase, the football that feels boring until you realize opponents can't touch it. This season, City aren't trying to overwhelm teams. They're suffocating them. Cold, measured, surgical. They don't need 20 chances anymore, just the right one. Most fans think City look less dangerous this year, less explosive, less electric. But that's only if you haven't followed Guardiola's career arc. Barcelona, Bayern, early City, machine City. This version always appears right before the sprint, the one that knows how the story usually ends. Pep isn't just coaching week to week anymore. He's assembling control, piece by piece, a team built on maturity, patience, and collective responsibility. And the scariest part is how few people have clocked it. To understand why this version of City exists, you have to understand where Pep comes from. In 2008, Guardiola walked into Barcelona like a young professor with a theory nobody else believed in. Instead of building around physical dominance or superstar forwards, he weaponized midfielders. Xavi, Andres Iniesta, Sergio Busquets. 3 minds, 1 rhythm. He turned possession into power. The football was outrageous. Triangles everywhere. One-touch passing at impossible speed. And then came the moment that broke football's rulebook. Lionel Messi as a false 9. At a time when managers were still arguing about 4-4-2 versus 4-3-3, Pep asked a different question. What if the striker isn't a striker at all? Messi dropped deep. Defenders followed. Space opened. Barcelona carved teams apart. It wasn't just tactics. It was misdirection. Control through intelligence. Pep wasn't managing matches. He was designing them. But Pep never stays still. When the world copied him, he left. At Bayern Munich, Guardiola inherited a treble-winning side and immediately tore it apart. This was the laboratory era. Shapes changed weekly. Fullbacks drifted into midfield before Europe even had a name for it. Wingers became interior playmakers. Center-backs split wide like quarterbacks. Stand still for too long and Pep turned you into a midfielder. Philipp Lahm, David Alaba, even the center-backs. It wasn't chaos. It was preparation. He was building a team that could change shape mid-game without losing control. Bayern didn't win the Champions League under him, but Pep evolved. He sharpened the tools that would eventually terrify England. By the time he arrived in Manchester, this was Pep 3.0. When Guardiola walked into City in 2016, he didn't renovate. He demolished. Joe Hart, a club icon, was moved on. Not because he wasn't good, but because Pep wanted a goalkeeper who could think like a midfielder. Claudio Bravo came first, then Ederson. That was the message. The early City teams were pure positional play, a rigid 4-3-3, wingers glued to the touchline, fullbacks flying high, midfield triangles everywhere. And then came the profiles. If you love the beautiful game, stick with us. Subscribe and see all our future football videos. Kevin De Bruyne became the league's most terrifying passer. Vision, power, timing. David Silva controlled rhythm. Bernardo Silva became Pep's ultimate problem solver, capable of playing anywhere without losing intelligence. Riyad Mahrez added isolation threat, 1v1 danger, precision. City weren't just good, they were unplayable. The 2017-18 season wasn't a title win. It was a takeover. 100 points, 106 goals, total control. But Pep wasn't building art. He wanted something repeatable, reliable, ruthless. So he evolved again. Fullbacks inverted, midfields overloaded, build-ups shifted into a 3-2 shape. Fernandinho, then Rodri, became the anchor. Control replaced chaos. City turned into a production line. Then João Cancelo blurred the system entirely. Defender, midfielder, playmaker. And when injuries forced John Stones into midfield zones, Pep discovered something new. A center-back who could step into midfield and back out without disrupting shape. A system that bent without breaking. And then came Erling Haaland. A pure number 9 in a Pep Guardiola team felt impossible. And yet it worked. City could score with patience or in 3 passes. Haaland gave them inevitability. De Bruyne gave him ammunition. By 2023, City weren't just dominant, they were adaptable. Then came the wobble. The 2024-25 season tested Guardiola like nothing before. Rodri's ACL injury exposed how fragile control can be. City spiraled. 5 straight defeats, heavy losses, a 3rd-place finish. No major domestic trophy. The aura cracked. And that's why this season matters. Because this isn't Pep panicking. It's Pep recalibrating. City don't look dramatic this year, but look closer. The goal difference matches Arsenal's. The games are still open, but the chaos is contained. Pep has prioritized security, collective responsibility, winning ugly when necessary. Erling Haaland is still inevitable. 15 goals in 15 league games. But now he links play, drops deeper, manipulates defenders before killing games. Phil Foden has become the tempo setter, the moment decider. Goals early, goals late. He no longer waits for permission. Ryan Cherki brings imagination, freedom within structure. The chaos Pep allows because he understands its value. Jeremy Doku breaks scripts, not for highlights, but to fracture defensive shape. Even the defenders contribute. Goals from Ruben Dias, goals from Joško Gvardiol, threat everywhere, no single point of failure. And here's the uncomfortable truth. After 15 games, Arsenal lead by 2 points. Same goal difference, same conversations, same confidence. And City are right there. Again, we've seen this movie before. Arsenal start fast, City hover. Pep fixes details quietly. Pressure builds. And when spring arrives, the league usually learns the same lesson. When Manchester City are this close in December, the chase has already begun. And Pep Guardiola has never been more comfortable than when everyone thinks the danger has passed.